Hi, this is Frank J. Avella with Awards Daily. There's an exciting new NBC series premiering September 28th called Brea, about a massive sinkhole that opens up in Los Angeles. I'm more than thrilled to have the star of that show with me today, the incredibly gifted Natalie Sea. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
So good.
Good, good. So I have to tell you, I've been loving your work since Dirty Sexy Money a little over a decade ago.
Can you believe it's been that long?
I know it's crazy, right? I think you're one of the most versatile actors working today.
Thank you so much. Oh God, that's so sweet.
You're welcome. No, I really, really mean it. So La Brea, I was only allowed access to the pilot.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too.
they
So I
promised
don't
me.
know anything after that.
well, well, it's definitely intriguing, and I love Eve, and I wanted to ask you what made you want to play her.
It was actually at my husband's behest. After I did the detour, I was like, okay, well, I found my thing. I'm going to do comedy, and that's just going to be where I go from here on out. And he sort of nudged me and reminded me that there is an expiration date on action roles for me, and the window is finite. And he was like, look, because this thing came along, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, this has never been sort of on my radar, this kind of thing. And he's like, well, you don't want to look back on it and in a decade and think, wow, I really should have probably taken advantage of that while my knees were still good. So it's his fault. He's the one to blame.
Wow.
Yeah, I just wanted to sort of explore a completely different genre, before it was too late.
What she's a real mama bear, like really fiercely protective. I'm guessing you know what that's like.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Before you're a parent, you're just like I'm such a different version of myself now. I mean, I'm the same person, but just like the other side of the coin of who I was. And I was just picturing myself as being a fiercely protective parent was just so not on my on my radar. So to have to admit that now, it even is like it's hard. The words don't tumble out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I would take a bullet for my kid for sure.
You got to film some really hair-raising scenes, like hanging from the sinkhole, holding onto your daughter.
Mhm.
It can't be easy to create that kind of suspense when all around you is going to be CGI'd, and yet it felt so real.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually hanging from a very, very, very high place, and what you see, the sort of the I guess the asphalt that you see that is sort of right here while I'm up. That was all practical. That was all real. So as much of that stuff that was CGI'd, that moment was actually very much what you see is what was happening. And I remember when I first watched that scene, I thought, yeah, that looks exactly like it did on the day. That's like that's what we did. There's very little that's different there.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
as special effects driven as it appears to be, what's interesting about La Brea, at least what I've seen so far, is it's filled with these great scenes of real survival. And I'm wondering if you could tell me a little bit about working with this ensemble.
Oh, there's some of the best people. We were in Australia, and we were there for the winter, and it was an exceptionally rough winter for Melbourne. And we were very, very far away from our families, and we were in lockdown most of the time we were there. So we were in this. Not only were we shooting scenes and shooting a story overall that was in this very isolated, isolating world, but we were kind of feeling a lot of those same experiences that our characters were feeling. So when that happens, you bond very quickly with your castmates, especially because most of them had also come from the US and were separated from all of their loved ones. And I can't say enough great things about these people. They'll be my friends for the rest of my life, because there's no, you can't really share that kind of experience without anybody who wasn't there.
Wow. Well, I'm curious about your process as an actor. How immersive are you, or can you be with a show like this one?
You can't really, it's difficult to have a process with with a show like this, with the shooting schedule that we had was very rigorous, and again the elements, and you know, a lot of it, I often say about this show that the star is the spectacle. I mean, you know, we're very capable of helping the story along, but you know, this is a very spectacular show, and it's about escapism, and it's about this vast world. So there's not a lot of time to be precious about what your motivation is. I mean, I've certainly asked it a few times because of that. You know, often it's like, go stand over there and do this and look over here, and we're like, why? But you know, as sometimes the answer is because and action. So it's good. I think it was good for the younger actors to learn how to like very much let go of all of that stuff when need be.
I think you may have answered my next question. I was going to say you've done so much television, from Justified to The Following to Californication, The Detour, which, by the way, I love. So good.
Oh, thank you.
Basically every genre of television. And I was wondering how La Brea might differ and or be similar to those experiences in the past.
It's really, really different from pretty much all of them. The Following is the only one that sort of comes close in comparison. But yeah, I mean, it was very run and gun. It was very, I mean, it was a rough ride in the best possible way. It was very much, you know, take no prisoners. And we got so lucky with not only this cast who was so red, like up for anything, but the crew. I mean, the crew is incredible, and I don't know if you know what's going on with the crews in the U.S. with the IATSE and their union. They're having to fight for like the basic minimum stuff, like, you know, safety on set and a living wage, and watching these people work so hard every day. It's like we would have nothing without them. We wouldn't have any of this escapism. We wouldn't have any of this, you know, the things that make us laugh and cry without these incredibly hardworking laborers. So just watching them was, you know, it was marvelous. And it also made us want to work so much harder.
Mm. So do you have a favorite role, Natalie, or work of yours that you look back on and say you're most proud of? And you're not allowed to say La Brea.
Okay. Yeah. I think The Detour. I think that getting to play that character was I got so lucky because I had not really done a lot of comedy. People didn't really trust me to do with their comedic work, and Jason Jones and Samantha Bee took a huge risk on me. I didn't audition for that role. They just said, "All right, guess you can do it. Let's see." And it was such a gift because I got to really like hone my comedic chops with some of the most incredible writing, some of the most like fiercely like salty stuff I'd ever really even read. So that I'm really, really proud of, and I hope that it continues to find an audience, you know, on streaming forever and ever.
Oh, it's the best binge show. Actually, we're rewatching it. I'm getting my husband into it.
Oh, good. It's
Yeah.
such a, yeah, it's great to watch over and over again because it's so stupid.
Yeah. But hilarious. Absolutely
So hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to form this question right. It's a compliment. You're such a multifaceted artist, and I wondered, why aren't you headlining more indie films?
If you find out, let me know. I don't know. I'm actually going to have to start making my own, which is fine. I just need to find the time to do it, and I think that's pretty much what it is. It's just, you know, we girls got to make their own stuff now, which is good. It's good. That means I have a little control.
Yes, you need to. I'm a screenwriter, so let's talk.
Okay, we'll talk.
Okay. You got your start in the theater many, many moons ago, and I was wondering, would you ever go back?
I would love, as a matter of fact, as soon as we wrapped this season of Brea, I said, I got to get back on stage. I mean, I don't know how I'm going to do it because, you know, my agents aren't chomping at the bit to put me on a stage where they make 10 cents on a piece of chicken. But I would love to. I'll do it right now.
Oh God, yeah. Well, we would love to see you in New York. Let me tell you that.
Oh, I would love to do it.
So I flashback for a second to Dirty Sexy Money. Can you tell me now, looking back, what that experience was like, especially working with icons like Donald Sutherland and Jill Clayburgh, who's unfortunately no longer with us?
Yeah, I mean, I want to say I didn't appreciate it, and I didn't understand how big it was at the time, but I did. I really did. I think that it's just I mean, you can't. There's no way you can actually wrap your brain around it when it's happening, and you get a better perspective on it as you know, as time goes by. But I do have memories of like very visceral memories of like stepping out of myself and looking at the room around me and thinking, what am I even doing here? This is the most incredible thing. I would have never imagined that I would be in this space with these people. So I did very much appreciate it while I was there, but as I get older, I appreciate it even more. It was such a special moment that, you know, that doesn't come along for everyone. And I look back at those memories so fondly.
God, and you did Emmy work on that show. You really did. You're welcome. Can you give us a sneak peek of what to expect on La Brea, especially from Eve, maybe?
You get to see her kind of not come out of her shell, but she gets to inhabit this sort of persona that I think had been dormant inside of her, that she hadn't allowed herself to explore. And weirdly, being in this situation kind of gives her the confidence to take on this leadership role, and you get to kind of watch the process of that happening.
I can speak to you all day, but I have a final question for you. I know you directed a few episodes of Detour,
Mhm.
and I'm wondering if that's something in your future.
Yeah, I would love to. Again, it's about sort of finding the time and finding the right projects and being able to push myself. It's a little harder in different ways, obviously, when you're an actor and people see you as one thing, and getting over that hump of wanting to direct, not just because it's a fun hobby, but because you're very serious about, you know, taking new direction in your career is a tough hump to get over. But the answer is yeah. I'm very interested, and will hopefully be able to pursue that in the next few years.
Great. Well, Natalie, I think you bring grace and artistry to everything you're involved in. I'm sorry, it's something with my throat. And I thank you so much for speaking to us today.
Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure.
Likewise, have a great day.
Appreciate it. Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.